Hey, welcome back. Am I the a-hole for telling a pregnant woman to sit on the ground instead of giving her my seat? Let's decide. So it looks like they voted you not the a-hole, but you sound like an a-hole, but let's see. My nephews both graduated from high school this morning and wanted to sit up front. I wanted to sit up front. So I camped out a bit in front of the entrance. I brought my folding camping chair and my headphones to listen to my show. About 40 minutes before the school would let us inside, a pregnant woman got next to me since somebody let her in line. I assume her partner. Okay. She asked me within 5 minutes, politely... okay. I'm so sorry. I'm a terrible reader today. She asked me within 5 minutes, politely admittedly, if she could have my chair as she was going to have trouble standing the whole time. I said, no, sorry, I need it more. I have bad feet, bad knees, and went back to my things. She asked me again within 2 minutes, and the answer was the same. She, however, got a little mad at me and said that she was going to be struggling the whole time and asked her partner to tell me. He asked me himself, politely, and I again responded that, sorry, but I need it more, and suggested that she could wait in their car or just sit on the ground. At this point, the husband directly called me an a-hole, but left me alone. Am I the a-hole? Okay, no, you're not the a-hole. You don't know this lady, and I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not saying like, oh, I don't know you, so I'm not going to help you, but it's like, okay, so you're going to a graduation, and you're camped out early, like concert tickets or something. You're camped out early because you want to sit up front. This pregnant lady's here. She's here with her husband. She got here early, so she knows she's early. She knew she was going to have to be waiting. If she thought she was going to have trouble waiting, she should have brought her own chair or her own accommodations. You really shouldn't show up. You shouldn't show up to a place like that and then expect to take something from someone who came more prepared than you. Like, I don't know what to say. I know you're pregnant, and, it's not a disability, though. You can sit on the ground if you're pregnant. You really can. It's okay. Or you could go back to the car. I think you're not the a-hole, after all. Not the a-hole. You refused to give up your chair you brought because you needed it due to your own health conditions. I do feel for the woman, but she and her partner should have brought their own chairs, yep, and not assumed they were entitled to yours. Exactly. Yeah. You're not the a-hole at all. Okay, what else looks good? Am I the a-hole for refusing to allow a photo of my future mother-in-law's miscarriage at my wedding? No. Why would she want that? All right. Throw away, because this is already enough of a mess. I don't know what TW means. Miscarriage / stillbirth. I don't know what that means. I know what miscarriage and stillbirth means. I don't know what TW means. Is it throw? It's not throw away. I don't know what it means. I, 26 female, am planning my wedding to my fiancé, 27 male, in a few months. Everything is going great, and I love him so much. I can't wait to spend my life with him. He loves my family, and I, for the most part, love his. A bit of background. Fiancé has a much older brother. While my future mother-in-law was pregnant 3 times in between them, all of them resulted in late miscarriages and stillbirths. Okay. So she had 3 pregnancies before him that all ended in miscarriage. All right, making sure that I'm comprehending my reading. As a result, mother-in-law put all of her motherly love and attention on fiancé. He had never tried a fruit or vegetable before I met him because his parents never made him when he was young, and he had grown up assuming they were gross. I got him to try some, and he loves them now. As we were planning our guest list, we consulted our families about which and how many relatives we should invite. Future mother-in-law asked that we invite fiancé's dead brother and sisters. Okay, look. I understand the grief. I do. This man is now 27, and these miscarriages happened before him. I'm not going to judge a woman's grief, but okay. Okay, let's keep going. Where are we? Okay. Future mother-in-law asked that we invite fiance's dead brother and sisters. When we asked what she meant, she wanted us to put up a framed photo of the dead babies in the pews at our wedding ceremony and then save them seats at our reception. I was horrified. First of all, we're trying to have a fairly small wedding to start with in a beautiful, intimate venue. We can only have seats for 30 to 50 people, and I would like these places to be for our friends and family, not people who have never met either of us because they are dead. Okay, you didn't have to word it like that, but yeah, I get it. I know what you're saying. Fiance agrees that 3 of 50 seats reserved for dead people is too many. I'm trying not to get hung up on the fact that you're just calling them dead people. I know they're dead people, but I don't know. Could you call them the babies? You know what? Don't change yourself to suit me. Just call them dead people if that's what you want to call them. It feels a little harsh that you write it that way, but that's fine. It's fine. He suggested we compromise and just let mother-in-law put up all 3 photos in one seat. Okay? Personally, I think it's gross and weird to include any of them. We're starting our lives together. We want to have a family, and it almost seems like a bad omen. But it means a lot to her, and it's a fairly small ask. Fiance's parents are paying for 75% of our wedding, and this is the only request she's had. So am I the a-hole for still refusing? I mean, you're not wrong in not wanting to do that. For you, I'm sure it's very creepy. For mother-in-law, it's hard to tell. Some people will do these things some people just like to make themselves the center of attention always, and there's a possibility that she uses this to try and bring that on her. But there's the other possibility, which is probably more likely, which is that she has never gotten over this, not truly, and she just hasn't gotten over it, and she still wants to. This is what I do have questions. Well, it doesn't matter. My questions are: is she like this with all major events? Does she always like kind of want to include them in everything, or is this the first time this has come up? You're not the a-hole, but I would just let her do it, honestly. If she were anyone else, then I would comfortably say, no, thank you. We're not really going to go that way with the wedding if it were anyone else, but it's because it's your husband's mother. Again, if I knew more about her, then I might be more inclined. This is what I'm trying to say. Maybe if I knew her in real life, I might feel more emboldened to just deny the request. But because I don't, and it just looks to me like someone who's really struggling, and because it would be the mother of my soon-to-be husband, I'd probably just do it. I would just do it. But I'm not saying you have to do it, and you obviously probably didn't do it, but I would probably, you're not an a-hole, but I would have probably done it. But let's just see what other people have to say. Okay. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the a-hole. I refuse to let my mother-in-law I refuse to let my future mother-in-law put up photos of my fiance's dead siblings at our wedding. It isn't that big of a deal, but I don't want them, and maybe I should have just let it happen. Let's see what other people say. Not the a-hole. I have no words other than no GD way. That's the weirdest and creepiest thing I've ever heard. I know it is. I agree. I agree that it is very weird and very creepy. But I also know that grief can make you weird and creepy. So, frankly, OP, it can be disturbing / triggering for other wedding attendees who have gone through similar experiences of stillbirth, miscarriage, to see the pictures at the function. Wait a minute. I was not fully thinking this through. She said photos, miscarriages. I don't know why in my mind this whole time I've been imagining like pictures of babies. I don't know why my brain didn't make the connection. This lady wants you to put pictures of her miscarried babies on the seats. No, you can't. No, you can't. That's disturbing for everyone. No, I'm sorry. I didn't fully think it out. Gosh. The more I think about it, honestly, I'm going to go back to you know what? He's 27. All those children came before him. You're talking about pictures. Stillbirths could have pictures that still just look like sleeping children. I know that's the case, but the more I sit and think about it, initially I'm just thinking about this woman, what she's thinking and what she's going through and how she's wanting to include her children. But honestly, the more I actually let it stew, the more I process. No. It's been 27 years. It's not, if you're still having, I don't know, you might just need to get some help, sweetie. I think you just might need to get some help. Honestly, I'm imagining it now. I'm imagining wedding guests coming in and seeing these photos. You're right. They don't know what this is about. Maybe they've had the same thing happen. Maybe it's going to bring up traumatic memories. I have no words. Okay, I already saw that. Your wedding is about you and your fiance. It's not about anyone else or what they want. It's about the two of you and what you want. Yeah, that's true. I can't even imagine going to someone's wedding and there being photographs of dead babies in the pews. Yeah. I can't even imagine how traumatic that could be for some people who have experienced a miscarriage or stillbirth. I would be drawing a firm boundary. I don't even understand your fiance trying to compromise and potentially choosing to have those photos at your wedding. It's not the time nor the place. Well, he's doing it for his mother, obviously. But the more, yeah, but it's true. You shouldn't do it. But you should just explain to her. This person seems wise. Let's finish okay. If I wanted to tread carefully, I think my response would be, we don't know the personal stories of everyone attending our wedding, and we have no idea whether or not some of our guests could potentially find photographs of dead babies traumatic. It's not a risk we're willing to take. But I probably wouldn't tread carefully. I would instead just be firm with boundaries. I think it's important to have a really clear conversation with your fiance about this. Okay. Seeking Besker, you are very wise. Yes, I would tread carefully though. Well, again, it depends. If I knew this woman, I might feel differently because I know some people that on the outside, it seems like you would want to give them a lot of sympathy and a lot of love and care, but because they're just always having problems. But when you get to know them, you realize They're always having problems because they like always having problems. They like the attention. They like everyone to be oohing and ahhing around them. And they want everyone to think that everything bad just only happens to them. So if I knew the woman and I knew her to be that way, I would not be so tender or sympathetic. But if that's not how I perceive her to be, and she's just really struggling, I would tread carefully, but I would definitely use that response that this person gave. Hey, I understand what you're saying. I'm more than happy to make them an invitation, include their names in the guest books. If you want to go sign their names for them, that's perfectly fine. The photographs and the reserving of seats is not okay, and displaying the photographs is not okay. If it makes you feel better to have them little invites or to include their name in the guest book, that way you can feel like they weren't left out or whatever, even though, not reserving seats, not displaying pictures. I'm sorry. When my boys were in high school, my parents were very supportive of everything they did. My mother passed away before my oldest earned his Eagle Scout award. We put a small bouquet of flowers on the table in her memory with a note about all the support she had given him. It was tucked in the back of the table with all his merit badges and pictures of his project, no photo of his grandma. Maybe on the gift table, a small bouquet of 3 pink and blue carnations. They could be in memory of his missing siblings. That's it. No graphic dead baby photos. No empty chairs. No big over-the-top show. Yes, it's not about you. It's not about your mother-in-law. It's not about you, mother-in-law, and giving up the boy who lived. Oh, it's not about you, mother-in-law, and giving up the boy who lived. It's a wedding, the joining of 2 people. Lord help original poster. Mother-in-law is going to be all up in your business till the day she dies. Edit to say not the a-hole. It could, yeah. Yeah. That's true. Very good, Molly. Very good. Very good. Little carnations. Something simple. A simple memorial, but not... That shouldn't be the focal point of the day. And obviously, if you put those pictures out there and have open reserved seats, that will be the focal point. So, no, you're not the a-hole. And how long ago was this? Oh, 6 months ago. I'm sure you're already married by now. But if not, you have your answer. Well, no, you've already told her no. So you're fine. You're good. Good luck. All right, well, that does it for today. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.